Hello, everybody! Welcome back to Cam Plays Zen Pinball 2, the Ant-Man table. And last time I was talking about the Wasp and all her glory, pretty much. I'm not sure what to talk about right this second. I guess I could talk about, well, technically the other character, and that is Yellowjacket. Now, in the original Ant-Man series, Yellowjacket was not this villain named Darren Cross. At least I'm not. Who is the villain of the movie, by the way? Minor spoiler alert. Although it's somewhat obvious. But otherwise, that's not how the original goes, if I remember correctly. Okay, ball save. In the original, the Yellowjacket is actually another one of Hank Pym's personalities, and Yellowjacket is one of the personalities that grows in size, not shrinks. I don't exactly remember if any of the giant variants can shrink. I think Giant Man could actually shrink and grow, and Yellowjacket I think was the second biggest. I think Giant Man is the biggest he can get. I'm not entirely sure about that. If I remember correctly though, Yellowjacket was more associated with his loony side more than any of his other personas. Oh, not off to a great start. Oh well. But yeah, other than that, he had like 3 or 4 personalities, and even Ultron in a way is considered another one of his personalities. In fact, in some cases it's even considered his son, if not outright. Oh yeah, Ultron. Ultron was created by Hank Pym. Although I'm not too, you know, it's like I've said before, whenever the Marvel Cinematic Universe deviates from the original source material, they do it in a tasteful way. And since they haven't introduced Ant-Man yet at that point, I thought it was, you know, okay, or, you know, cool that, and somewhat fitting, ooh, 10 million, sweet, that Tony Stark, spoiler alert, was the, ooh, I got a little bit of a thing going on here, that Tony Stark was the one that ended up creating Ultron in the Avengers movie. Spoiler alert! Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have an annotation for spoiler alerts. So yeah, he in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they went ahead with Tony being, oh come on, they went ahead with Tony Stark creating Ultron, which I thought made sense. You know, a guy creating robot suits creates the robot. But in the original comics, Hank Pym created Ultron, and like I said, it is considered another one of his personalities. And another spoiler alert coming up. I think as of the latest, like in the Secret Wars, holy cow, it's easy to lose that ball. Ultron himself has merged with Hank Pym, and they flew off into space to sacrifice themselves in some sort of, I don't exactly know what's going on. I haven't actually read that part yet. This is just what I'm hearing secondhand. I can't wait to actually read it. It sounds nuts. Oh, I lost my, oh yeah, 1 million. And the ball shrunk. So I love it when the ball shrinks. It's awesome. Okay, I gotta make sure I still have it though. Other than that, yeah, there was Goliath, who was somewhere in between regular Hank Pym and Yellowjacket. I think Goliath was the second one. Goliath is another one of those personalities that ended up becoming, like how Ant-Man became is synonymous with Scott Lang eventually. Goliath became synonymous with, oh, I'm actually drawing a blank on his name. I'll have to go back and look on that. But yeah, Goliath ended up becoming another, it became someone else's costume. And, you know, whereas Hank Pym more or less stuck with, Yellowjacket and Giant Man, if I'm remembering this all correctly. But sad news about Goliath. During the huge Marvel event Civil War, one of my favorite events to this day still, Goliath, if I remember correctly, was killed by a quote-unquote Thor clone, or the Ragnarok, who they all thought was the genuine Thor. Ah, dang it. Okay, well, I was about to run out of stuff to say anyway. I'm gonna go and finish the thought though. No, not a bad attempt for not really paying attention. Goliath was killed by the Thor clone, and that really shook up, and that was like a turning point for a lot of the heroes during the Civil War, turncoating against each other, some leaving, some even joining the pro registration and all that. And it was one of those events that really shook up the Marvel universe. And yeah, I always thought it was interesting that, well, I mean, it also attributes to the slight insanity that is the original Hank Pym. But you know, I always thought it was cool that there was well, you know, that of all the personalities you could have picked, it was those personalities, you know, the Yellowjacket. So yeah, I'm as far as the cinematic universe goes, I found it really cool that they went with the Yellowjacket as an outright bad guy, and you know, as a villain for Ant-Man. Because if you ask me, with the exception of Ultron, Ant-Man never really had any proper villains, from what I remember reading up as a kid and all that. So it was good to see, like, they twist one of the so-called superhero identities of the original Hank Pym and turn it into an outright separate bad guy with his own name and all that. Although I think there was a Darren Cross in the original comics. Not that, didn't play that big of a role though. So yeah, the way Marvel's handling it, you know, taking the source material and running off with their own on it. I love what they're doing with it. So I guess that ends with that thought. Thank you guys all so much for watching. This has been Cam Plays Zen Pinball 2. Sorry if I rambled on there a bit. I get passionate about this stuff. And I hope you guys are just as passionate. Leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to get nutted today. And love yourself, because Cam loves you too. Huzzah! 47% damage in total. I need to get Elijah off my back more than anything. Okay, so am I going the right way? Hang on. I want to do something.